Hey everyone, welcome back to Prime Tech Update. Today, we're diving into a question that's been surprisingly popular lately: is the iPhone 8 Plus still worth it in 2026? Yes, you heard that right. A phone that came out back in 2017 is still making waves in the tech world almost a decade later. And honestly, there's a lot to unpack here. Whether you're considering picking one up used, holding onto one you already have, or just curious how it holds up in today's world, this video is for you. So let's get into it. First off, let's talk about the design. Back in 2017, the iPhone 8 Plus followed the same general design philosophy as the iPhone 6, 6s, and 7. That means a rounded aluminium frame, glass front and back, and that iconic Touch ID home button that some people still prefer over Face ID. Now in 2026, that design looks dated but also kind of classic. There's a retro charm to it now. While the majority of smartphones today are all screen with no bezels and under-display cameras, the iPhone 8 Plus stands out with its forehead and chin. Some people actually like the home button. It gives them a sense of control and familiarity. And with Touch ID still being fast and reliable, it offers something Face ID doesn't: to unlocked access even while wearing a mask or sunglasses. But let's be honest, compared to the sleek designs of today's flagships, the 8 Plus does look chunky. It's large and heavy for a phone with only a 5.5-inch display. It's definitely not for everyone in 2026, but for certain users, it hits a nostalgic sweet spot. Speaking of that display, it's a Retina HD display, IPS LCD, 1080p resolution. It doesn't hold a candle to modern OLEDs, especially when you factor in refresh rates. Most 2026 phones are running 120 Hz or more. This is stuck at 60 Hz. That said, for media consumption and day-to-day tasks, it still gets the job done. Colors are decent, brightness is adequate for most conditions, and the size is comfortable for watching videos or typing out long messages. It's not cutting edge, but it's far from unusable. Let's move on to performance. The iPhone 8 Plus is powered by Apple's A11 Bionic chip. Back in the day, it was a beast. And here's the thing: Apple's chips are known for their longevity. Even now, the A11 can handle basic tasks with ease: web browsing, social media, streaming, and even some light gaming. Where you'll start to notice the age is with multitasking, heavier apps, and newer games optimized for newer chipsets. Also, the 3 GB of RAM is starting to feel limiting in today's software landscape. Apps reload more often, and background processes don't stick around as long as they do on modern phones. In 2026, iOS is on version 20. Apple officially dropped support for the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus at iOS 18. So what does that mean? Well, if you're on iOS 18, your phone will still work. But you'll start to notice fewer app updates, and over time, security patches will stop coming. That means potential vulnerabilities, incompatibility with newer apps, and the gradual slowing of performance as apps assume newer system frameworks. This is one of the biggest downsides of using an iPhone 8 Plus in 2026. It's not that it can't perform, it's that the software is frozen in time. Now let's talk cameras. Back in 2017, the 8 Plus had a dual camera system, a 12MP wide and 12MP telephoto. It was the first iPhone with portrait mode, and at the time, it took really impressive shots. In 2026, camera tech has come a long way. Multiple lenses, AI-powered enhancements, computational photography, and high frame rate 4K or even 8K video are standard now. The 8 Plus? It holds its own for casual shots in good lighting, but low light performance is poor by today's standards. No night mode, limited dynamic range, and no RAW capture without third-party apps. Still, it's more than good enough for casual social media use or scanning documents. And hey, there's still something kind of satisfying about the shutter sound and quick responsiveness of the older camera app. Selfies, though, are a different story. The 7MP front-facing camera feels ancient compared to today's ultra-wide, high-resolution front shooters. Video calls will look noticeably grainy, and don't even think about using it for high-quality content creation. Let's touch on battery life. When new, the 8 Plus had a solid battery around 2691 mAh. And because of its lower screen and efficient chip, it could last all day. But in 2026, battery degradation is a major concern. If you're using an original battery, you're probably down to 70% or less of its original capacity. Fortunately, battery replacements are still available and relatively cheap. So if you plan to use this phone, a fresh battery is almost a must. With that, you can still squeeze out a full day of moderate use. Now, let's talk about features we take for granted in newer phones that you won't find here. There's no 5G. Just LTE. That might not sound like a big deal depending on your location, but as carriers start phasing out older LTE bands, connectivity will become slower and less reliable. There's no MagSafe, no Face ID, no 120Hz refresh rate, no in-screen fingerprint scanner. You're also stuck with Lightning and no USB-C here. That makes it less future-proof in a world where USB-C is now the global standard, especially after Apple finally switched to it in the iPhone 15 and beyond. But let's look at it from another angle, price. You can get an iPhone 8 Plus for next to nothing now. On the used market, we've seen them going for under $100, sometimes less depending on the condition. That's insanely cheap for a phone that can still handle the basics. If you're looking for a reliable secondary phone, a starter device for a kid, or just to back up, the 8 Plus is a solid choice. It's durable, simple, and familiar. And if you like iOS but don't want to spend $800 or more, this could be a surprisingly decent option so long as you accept its limitations. Let's wrap things up with who this phone is really for in 2026. If you're a power user, content creator, or gamer, you'll want to skip this one. There are far better options out there, even in the mid-range or budget categories. But if you just want a basic iPhone that works, and you don't care about having the latest and greatest, the iPhone 8 Plus still has some life left in it. It's like using an old car that still runs. It may not have GPS, lane assist, or adaptive cruise controller, but if you just need to get from point A to point B, it does the job. And for people who love the classic iPhone feel, the tactile home button, and the simplicity of the older design, the 8 Plus might be the last true iPhone in that form. Everything after it moved on to gesture navigation, Face ID, and edge-to-edge screens. In a way, it's the end of an era, and some people still appreciate that. Would we recommend buying it in 2026? Honestly, only if you're on a tight budget or want it for a specific niche use. For most people, something like the iPhone, say 2022 or even refurbished iPhone 11 would be a much better long-term investment. But hey, we get it. Nostalgia is powerful, and the iPhone 8 Plus was a solid phone in its day. It helped define a generation of Apple's hardware, and it still holds a small, loyal fan base. That's it for today's video. If you found this helpful or interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Prime Tech Update. We've got tons more content coming your way on old tech, new releases, and everything in between. Drop a comment below. Are you still using an iPhone 8 Plus in 2026? Would you consider buying one now? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.